Our last stop before our return home was a mess. Jefferson gets attacked by a goose.
And we probably went too far, but that's just disc golf. I love how we never prep after that. We always prep that little whatever.
Yeah, we
intro,
also
and then
like
it's always
never say our name either.
I'm Jefferson.
I'm Swiss cheese.
And we're in the disc golf world. All right.
I don't even know if we did it last one.
No, we did it, and it was the same. It was the same way. You're like, we didn't say this, and I didn't chop it, and I'm not chopping it here as well because why would we do that?
Yeah, man, that's fine. One of these days we'll get it right.
But we're talking about the first major of the season, Champions Cup, and it was our last stop before home. No longer
Somebody's
in the minivan.
clicking away right there. What about the USW DGC? Yes, we know.
I forgot about it.
Every time you say something like that, all I imagine is like someone just be like, "Whoa, what about this?" And
There's always that guy in the comments, right? But we were no longer in the minivan. We were now in an Airbnb, courtesy of editor Drew, who joined us for the weekend. Got to see a little bit of what we were up to for the past. At this point, was nearly 2 months. And what it was is a lot of work because at this point throughout the entire tour, you guys, if you were around then, you may know we used to from the beginning daily round recaps for every event.
Yeah.
So there's always basically a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday video for the first 2 months of tour, and then we quickly abandoned that because that was a lot of work.
To be fair, man, the weird start of the season, that's awfully nobody's that hyped about disc golf, that early winter, early spring type, because I think most people aren't playing, or a good chunk of them haven't played yet. So yeah, and then here we are chugging along doing daily videos at the worst time of the year.
But yeah, it was working.
But yeah, man, you learn. That's you live and learn. But yeah, man, this was a different one. This is it's kind of weird when you're on tour because as you near your end date, it's kind of, man, it's weird. It's just a senior year of high school. You know what I mean? You slow down. You I don't want to say you take shortcuts, but you take shortcuts, or
I feel I don't know why, but every time towards the end of any sort of tour, my body feels fine, and then the last stretch, it's we're gonna hurt. All that sleeping in the minivan, all of that terrible, all of it.
Yeah, because you got man, everything that you've pushed to the back of your mind and be yeah, I'll think about that later. I got this to do. All of a sudden, just pops up, and you're fuck reality setting in. You know what I mean? So yeah, and everything just slows down, and then this tournament had the worst weather conditions on the year, and it was just brutally sloppy, rainy, gusty, just didn't want to be there. Nobody was there.
Nobody was there.
Nobody was there. Nobody was there. We're talking bro, if somebody said 200, I'd been let's hold your horses. I'm talking I'm talking non-affiliated, no caddies, no volunteers,
straight up fans.
No, just straight up fans. If somebody said there's 250, I'd be bring that back a little bit. It was 215. You guys are hella rounding up. You guys are hella rounding up. Yeah, it was some days were that bad. It was just empty. And understand the weather was this tournament was doomed from the start. With everything that happened.
Horrible weather, and everyone knew that it was coming.
Yeah.
And what was it? Round 1 had to be postponed or whatever. One of the rounds had to be finished in the morning, if not more than one. I can't remember, but
it was one, and I want to say it was day 2.
I remember it being early morning.
Yeah, because Casey was on the lead, and he had to come back, and it was day 2, had to be finished later, and then also, which was really funny because the cool thing is the way we're filming, because we can't film lead or chase card, we're usually ending later on 18, and then we'll watch the lead card come in on 18. And so everybody was just trying to beat the clock so they didn't have to wake up in the morning. Everyone was literally running.
Someone, I think Gavin Babcock almost took a full sprint. And then it was we threw. Yeah. And then everyone was allowed, and it was basically no one could see.
Yeah, I think somebody ate it, ran to the tee because they were first up and just threw, just to be because the rule was as soon as once one person started a hole, the rule was you finished. So no matter what it took. So yeah, somebody was literally just threw off the tee to be like, all right, we got to finish now, guys. Like, at least they're not getting up in the morning was the thing about it. So like that was kind of amusing. But yeah, man, you do not want to be like trekking through Northwood Black in like sloppy conditions.
That
And
was pretty
like,
much all the talk afterwards with the players saying. I think the quote was something about disregard for player safety.
sure.
With, I think, the limbs falling
It was limbs. It
everywhere,
was like, yeah, the
horrible weather.
footing, like all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like,
Remember when like holes had like ponds extended and just water everywhere. Now the memories are starting to like fly back now from Champions Cup like a little bit, and it was just.
I'll bring back another memory. What about? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it's so gonna come off that way. What about the fucking painted chalk lines of like, watch for this limb above you?
Yeah,
the chalk lines. Like, this is a danger area of like shit to fall on your head. Yeah, like
I do remember that. And like anytime something would fall, like, all right, here we go.
Like the lamest version of a wet floor fucking side on the disc golf course was with painted red lines, and then like of course all the players are looking at. Everybody was talking about it. Like that's the like neat thing about behind the scenes, and nobody was there. Like everybody was talking about it before even I remember there was like a delay and there was a restart, and like we're all sitting there before the restart. I think that might have been the first day or the third one of the, whatever. And like everyone's sitting in their vans. They're like, we're sitting there like, there's no way this is gonna happen. Like there's no way we're beyond the. It's like 4 p.m. and it's like it's useless to start, and we're like, no chance. No players are all saying it, and then like we're buddying up and like huddling up, and we're all talking about it because like it stopped raining, and then lo and behold, like the shitstorm of like arguments that was going on behind the scenes too, man. Everybody was like phone calls, like this person's making like it was like, man, who's making the decision here? Is this PDGA? Is this dgpt? And I was like, it was weird. It was really weird.
It was cool though because we were right in. We get to park where it's like a mashup of media, staff, anyone that really wants to park. There's not really good parking in Northwood. It was really just free for all. So all of that was literally going outside of our van. And I remember Trevor was there too, so we were just able to kind of poke out over there and be like, "Oh, what's happening?"
Yeah,
like a little bit.
To be honest, like we're not like covertly spying. They're literally doing this on a goddamn fucking picnic table.
Yeah,
like in front of
it wasn't supposed to be like that. It was just
like they're doing this at a picnic table beside the cookie. The cookie.
Oh yeah, the fire ones though.
Yeah, dude, those are fire, bro. Everybody who goes to Ledge.
That's the only reason to go to Northwood, dude.
That and like the mac and cheese, Drew.
The barbecue place is
fire.
Yeah. I get that. They've been there every year.
They don't have anybody else, but yeah. So like that was, yeah. So like there was no like setting up a recorder or anything. I was just like, yeah, this is happening right there in front of everybody, and it was animated too. That was even the best part. Like we should have just like film, man. It would have been awesome to have like film of that like behind a window, like like the cover, and then just done like a like John Boy style and like read lips, like just be like, nah, fuck you, we're doing this. No, we shouldn't do this. He's kind of right, we shouldn't do this, but we're gonna do it. Like that was funny. But yeah, I mean, I do remember also Hamas yelling at us like, what a fucking joke. Like I thought it was funny, but yeah, it was good.
Why? That was the whole when we allude to or whatever the title is about we going too far. This is what it was about. I had one title of the video being Disaster from Champions Cup, talking about the weather delay, talking about how the inevitability of knowing the rain's coming, but you can't just stop the event. You have to at least push on. And that was what we were talking about. And then, yeah, of course, that one is the one we get told crossing a line, which is okay because later in the video, I learned that you're not allowed to tell a player to go fuck himself. That also crossing a line. But I also want to clarify, I took down the video before I was told to take down the video because I kind of felt bad.
I think that's your way to just say like, hey, I realized I did it.
Yeah, sometimes I process
you can't be mad if I did it before somebody told me to do it.
Yeah,
it happens.
I realized like maybe you shouldn't have that. But yeah, we're just gonna leave it up.
And I get the DGBT's thing of it. Like I understand they're trying to protect their image, and I kind of get that, but like we're not fabricating. You know what I mean? Like in no way.
It was just a disaster. Like disaster was just implying the rain and implying the conditions that literally players were saying were unsafe. And there was, I don't know, it seemed like a disaster of
you
your
can,
making.
yeah,
Like,
people
I
can
understand we're
interpret anything anyway.
embellishing, but when we're making 5 videos on a topic, adjectives are thin, man. You know, you know what I'm saying? There's only so many words. You got shocking, because I get people are mad when you got drama and controversy. You gotta avoid those ones. You know, that's a Monday type word, right?
Those are Mondays. Yeah,
That was like a Saturday, right?
Yeah, those are special adjectives. Yeah. So yeah, it is what it is. I think it kind of comes with our territory, of being honest. Like I don't know, like.
I was trying to like brush by. I thought that was my way
Oh,
of just
you
segueing on. It
oh,
wasn't
I
that
didn't
big
know
of
if
a
you
deal.
wanted me to expound
No, it's
on
not
it.
that. I feel like we did. You got a slap on the wrist. You know, we got told.
Man,
Don't
if you
do
like,
that.
I kind of feel like I'm not saying like if you if you don't get like a little pushback, you're not doing it right. Like if we're being real,
It's
right?
really convenient. That was our last one too.
Yeah, before.
Like they knew all the ones we were gonna be at. Why does that always happen? Now it's a trend.
No, it's a trip.
It's annoying.
That's a later podcast.
Yeah,
right?
stick around and then we'll get to it.
So yeah, that was our first little bit. And man, I will say we did kind of go hard that weekend, but like it was
our last event. We were pissed.
Yeah, we were
like,
man, we were just as cranky as everybody else was. I
had to stand in the rain and record disc golf, man. It's not my
Yeah,
favorite
like,
thing.
yeah,
I'm
so, like-
that's so privileged to be annoyed about.
I
I'm sorry.
know.
Like, that sounded off so pricky.
Like I get it. It's like, so yeah, man, I was just cranky. We didn't necessarily agree with the decisions to play on. I didn't like. I did kind of believe it was unsafe. Like I did agree with the players on that, and we just kind of highlighted it. And I get that not liking it, but like that was the choice, and that was the PDGA's choice.
Was it? That was the. I can't even
man,
remember.
I kind of take
I couldn't even remember.
Yeah, like it seemed like
There's a video on it. If you guys want to go check back.
It seems like
and
it was
look.
the PDGA's choice from what like I gathered, but like it was definitely
From the event itself though. That was pretty much it for a 5-day tournament. It was kind of just, and it sucked because the rain, obviously. And stuff, and that's like all I remember. Wild Runs was there. Right?
Wild Runs was there. He pulled up at the Airbnb. Slept outside in the Airbnb. Wild Runs. That was another stop of his.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool getting some additional like FaceTime with content people. Like we said, it's awesome.
Trying to get more out there, man.
Yeah, and then Airbnb was tight. And as far as the tournament goes, yeah, you had Prezi that kind of came through. I do remember like the few people that were there was always like, when's the ball gonna drop? Like, when's the next person gonna like pop off? When's it, you know what I mean? Like, no way this is gonna happen. And like, Prezi just kept on chugging along. Yeah,
The
and,
old
like,
man golf.
And like, yeah, it was a cool battle. It was also kind of really like behind the scenes. It was kind of cool to see like Ricky and Antala's interaction. I would have never thought like those two would have been like chummy, because like Ricky doesn't really talk much with like
competitors.
Yeah, but he was really chummy with Antala. It was like pretty cool. So like I thought that was kind of neat. Yeah, then FPO Avelina, weird hole 18. I do remember sitting on 18 with Lisa Fakis. Like this is the like we didn't officially introduce each other. Like it was the weird like, hey, I know you. Hey, you know me, but like we never said like we were just talking about like the strokes going through, because like Evelina threw it in the rough and it was like close, like you know what I mean? It was coming down and we were just counting through the strokes. And like, but yeah, I remember sitting there through 18 with like everybody else. You remember that? Oh man, you remember the Estonians guys that showed up with the full gear?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was
probably so disappointed.
I know. Oh, that was a little rough. But yeah, I do remember that one.
But pretty much that's all from the action itself.
I wish I had more. It is like technically like one of our local
it's like
stops.
Our homish. Well, it wasn't supposed to be though. If we're being honest, it wasn't supposed to be at North. Whatever.
I get it.
Whatever though. The cool thing though about Drew being at tournaments is that means I always get to play around, because Drew will need to take me away at some point, because got to entertain. You got us the Airbnb. You got to throw them out. So we went and played. I can't remember if we played multiple courses, but the one that sticks, we definitely did. Now that I'm thinking about it, but the one that's really sticking out is we played Sunset Hills, which is the FPO layout for Ledgestone usually, and it was just a fine round. But really, the only exciting thing that happened was we're playing hole 3. I throw a really, really bad shank. My disc lands somewhere here. I throw my upshot. All of a sudden, I hear Drew say, "Oh my!" And so all of a sudden, a goose flies by my damn head.
Bro, like for the people that don't know Jefferson, Jefferson has the aura of a Disney princess
Every
where he
time, bro.
attracts nature, but his personality towards animals is that of a villain. Like he hates them. Like
hate him.
Yeah, well, he gets scared. Like Jefferson gets skittish.
Yeah, because
Like
you know the amount of
wildlife
times
gets
attack,
him
bro?
nervous.
Yes,
like
bro.
wildlife and like kind of sometimes nature at times.
It always just be attacking me, bro.
Yeah,
I'm throwing the video on so people can see what I'm talking about because
man.
that shit was
I'm
scary.
not gonna.
As hell.
Yeah, this one was legitimate, but like, man, it's like
My head
it has
smashed against
traumatized
the
you too.
ground.
Let's be real, it has traumatized you.
I do
like your head is on the swivel now at courses. Like you see
anytime
a bird,
there's a goose
you hear a
around.
bird, like you're just like.
Anytime geese, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I dodged that one. I think I was writing a video, so like I didn't go with you. That was just you and Drew.
Yeah. It was fun. No, it wasn't. My head hit the ground so hard I wanted to leave so bad, and I didn't even play good. It was great. It was awesome. I love disco. And that was like the only round Drew beat me, and of course that's the only one we're gonna ever hear. Shout out Drew. But the other thing that happened, we randomly got invited to the Go Throw guys.
Yeah, they're now Go Throw.
Go Throw.
Now Go Throw.
And we got to show Drew more of that because Drew's always been a disc golf fan too. So it's kind of cool to be like, no, we aren't just kind of established ourselves within this community as well. We're not just
it is kind of like
guys in a van.
Drew is the only like. Don't get me wrong, like there are others, but Drew is like the only one that has like seen the behind the curtains of like like disc golf world, our popularity, like and like kind of what we do like behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's cool to kind of bring somebody in and then just be like, you guys do this every week, and we're like, kinda.
We have been, right?
Yeah, it's just different spots, so different things happen. Like, but yeah, like, and like. They had that huge Airbnb, and like, so yeah, we pull up with our buddy. We haven't seen him in like what 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Your college buddy in forever, maybe longer. I haven't seen him forever, and we're just like, yeah, man, we're gonna go hang out, watch this Jeopardy thing, and like hang out with some pros, and like. We get there and he's just like, "What's going on?" Became best friends with Mattio.
Had really interesting interactions with Mattio.
Dude, Mattio is precisely like he is on the course. Like no joke. Like Mattio is like hilarious, but the problem is like he's also like kind of like timid and quiet. As much as people will be shocked at that, but when you get him going, man,
there's a basketball game I think he was getting into.
Oh,
and Drew was also. And that was funny because we went downstairs to go watch the Jeopardy, and by that I meant we sat behind the recliners in which the video was being recorded, awkwardly as hell.
Yeah,
but we were there.
Yeah, we were.
It was cool
those were some tight quarters.
Yeah, it was.
Those were some tight quarters. It was Mattio, Germ.
No, Mattio didn't play, did he?
Yeah,
did he? Oh wow,
yeah, he did. And then he talked so much shit at the end. That was the best part about it.
Oh, yeah,
Mattio, Germ. Owen was hilarious. Like Owen I think I had to go like get beer run. Like they had beer run
I do remember that, yeah.
And then who was the last one?
Paige Pierce?
Was it Paige? Might have been. I think it was Paige, yeah.
It'll come out maybe one day. I think so.
And they did a Jeopardy, and we were behind the scenes. You guys won't see us, but we were behind the scenes.
Maybe you'll get like a little glimpse. It will pop out. I think I got a video of me hiding down there.
We should have done something. It would have been perfect to like done like a puppet show. But no, that was pretty funny. And took it. Man, I'm probably spoiling it. Sorry, spoiler alert.
I gotta bleep that out. You guys, that's bleeped out. Because I don't want someone to be pissed, dude. I don't want to give come on, we're trying to work with the Go Throw tour and stuff.
I'm only leading that up to it because like he did talk so much trash, and it was
over Germ.
Yeah,
Germ did not want
like Germ was not happy about losing. No. And like Mattio just pecked away, and I was chuckling. Like here I am, like I don't know Germ that well. I don't really know Mattio that well. Like I'm not gonna, but like. And then, like, I'm laughing out loud at, like, Mattio just be like, "Oh, Jeremy, thought you had me." And, like, was like, whoa, bro. He talked so much trash. He was so funny.
Nah,
like,
yeah, I really wanted that win.
yeah, like man, he was quick about it. Like he like Owen. Owen did not. I don't know if she got an answer. Right. But
it was tough.
she made the video. She
helps the brand.
Yeah. So
she got to be funny. If anything, she wins.
Yeah, but that was also funny because like Matteo was talking to our buddy Drew at one point, and like man, they were like chummy, bro. They were doing like the talking about basketball. Like,
yeah, they're homies.
Yeah, like,
that's
like,
funny. It's funny just to come up upstairs and be like,
I think it was playoffs.
Drew,
Was it playoffs? It might have been
Matteo?
playoffs. It might have been the playoffs. Yeah, and I was like. It was chummy, and then like Matteo started talking about his illegal disc collection, and we're like, "What's that exactly?"
Yeah, what does even that mean, bro?
Yeah, like we're trying to like get it out of him, and then he tells us it's just like copyright shit.
Yeah,
just like, oh man, that's a lot more disappointing. Like, you know what I mean? He's like the non-trademark stuff. He's like has a huge collection of it, but yeah, there's times where like Matteo talks and like when he's excited, man, it's just you go, yeah, man.
I do that a lot, yeah. That sums it up. Most of my Matteo conversations, and they're honestly some of the best moments on tour.
Awesome.
I'm not gonna lie.
No, man, they're
Next
great.
episode, talk a lot about because that's the preserve episode.
Ooh,
it's gonna be preserved, and I'm gonna smash it with majestic. We can do like the one because it's kind of done, right?
How come I feel like there was one before the preserve?
Not that we were at.
I gotcha. So we went home. Maybe it was
preserve. No, they went out west.
Oh,
like, the preserve was like a while. Like, it's like
right.
an extended break.
Yeah.
We come back, and then it's preserve.
Gotcha.
And then I came back for majestic.
You're right.
And then it was Des Moines. Didn't go to Des Moines, and then they went to overseas, and then it was Ledgestone, and that was my stretch.
Yeah, I hear you. Nice.
So that's the schedule, basically. You guys really caught that, but
because it is going to be preserve.
Preserve is next, but the recap of the tour itself. This was our second stretch, tour number 2, as we call it, right?
Yeah, tour 2.
Do you think it was better than tour 1 comparatively? I guess you can't really say better or worse, but it had its own different moments. It was a different experience.
It was a different mindset. Like we said in the first podcast, it was kind of this was more of work than like an experience, and we had more expectations that we put on ourselves, that our people at the show were, you know what I mean? So like, it was different. This was like, man, I will say like for 2 tours, we were fairly like okay with weather, like, or bad shit happening. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you sleep in a van and you're worried about like hot or cold, and like there was very few days. There were some like where you're just like, bro, how'd you do last night? Oh, I was bad. Like, you know,
for sure. I hated waking up with just sweaty, bro.
Oh yeah, sweaty's worse than cold. I will say that all the time. But man, there's been times where like I was waking up just searching for like something to throw on top of me. Like But anyways. But yeah, so as far as like those conditions and everything along those lines, but yeah, it was a far more successful along the lines of just doing more videos, developing our style, getting people behind what we were doing. I think like say what we will, I think we did an exceptional job of highlighting the issues of like pros on tour. As much as a lot of people claim they don't want to hear it, but like
I think we did. The views and the speak for himself. Yeah, I feel as if, and the amount of pros, relatives, people that work on staff, all of it that come up to us that are saying they appreciate this perspective being shown on this side because it has been neglected for so long. Yeah, that's just the feedback that keeps us going.
So yeah, like we weren't doing that on the first tour. No, like you know what I mean. Like, and then like the relationships that we built, you know, everything along those lines. Like, man, that last day of championships, you had to like say goodbye to like everybody. Like these are people you're on the road with, you know what I mean? You're chummy with, like when we see these guys everywhere. Like you can't go to Walmart to pick up something like without seeing 3 pros almost all the time, right? Like so it just happens that way. And like yeah, so it was kind of interesting. It's a whole different perspective. I think like we became more of a channel. And then like even when we were coming home, it was like that whole drive home, it was all right, what are we working on next? What are we gonna do? What's the plan here? Everything along those lines. But to like look at what we did as far as like those interview cut ups to like not like now versus even that halfway point are like remarkably different. And just
The
keeping the growth.
evolution of the
Yeah.
disc golf world was pretty cool to see because when you do look back at our beginning of tour, we didn't really know what we were going to do, and then by the end of it, there was an established disc golf world, videos that would come out every single week. And then again, it went through its next stage of evolution, but it was cool to be like, okay, that's what we did. We set out, we said we were going to do daily round recaps every event. We were going to go to press conferences, ask questions, and with no experience not doing this, we just did it because it was felt what needed, that gap of content needed to be filled, and that was our way of just, as Terry Miller always said, just if you're gonna just become cheeky and complain, go do it. And we took our little shitty camera, we did it.
And man, that was you love quoting Terry. I love it.
Just saying, local legend around here.
He is. But yeah, it was definitely we accomplished a ton. Like it's pretty.
I can't remember how many subscribers we did, but I remember coming back feeling satisfied. Like, okay, this was worth it. That tour, living on the road, getting this, experiencing, documenting this, the relationships we built, the next level of media that we were able, because that's the thing that bothers me the most a little bit. And I don't want to be the person that has to keep commenting to be like an asshole, but the spreading lies and misinformation. It's like, no, dude, literally hearing this from the pros. Like, I would never just say this random stuff. It's like, and we wouldn't have been able to do that without being on tour, because there's a level I feel of security and safety of, I've had face-to-face conversations and all that thing is, it's not just us on two guys on YouTube on the internet. Thankfully, you don't leak your stuff. These are genuine friends. Have phone calls with these people and can just be homies. Like, that's cool to be like, hey, we were literally watched these people online since I was like 16 years old, and now it's like I can just call up and be friends. Like, it's weird. It's such a weird thing that just literally started with, we're just gonna do this. Like, it's just wild. It's really wild.
Man, it's kind of goofy when like some of your stories are I played a board game with a pro. Like you know what I mean? It's weird to like flex on that. It is kind of funny. Like when you're like,
it's just goofy.
You're at your random doubles league and like somebody's like, oh, you don't know who this guy is? He does YouTube. And then they're like, what's the coolest story?
I know, that's like the first question every time, bro. It's such a lame one too. Like, just give me your favorite pro or something. Be like, you got interaction with them? Because yes. Might not be good, might be a great story.
I get it, but it's probably a lot easier than me trying to pull one from the start. So like as far as the accomplishment, and like it's kind of funny because we're riding the high of like coming home, sleeping in regular bed arrangements and like home cooking, riding the high of hitting what we tried to go and doing our goals and hitting our achievements on that front. And then like Jefferson said, getting slapped on the wrist and like, and I get it. It kind of happened.
I would say that is a major factor of why we didn't do daily round recaps, especially being at home, because we never wanted to do that stretch of, I don't know. It was, sometimes it was like T-pad problems, but it was also because we could go the next day and then this pro would say something and then this person would say something. So at least we're adding a value back. And then at home, it was like, I don't really have a whole lot of inside info. So maybe I don't need to talk about round 2 of OTB Open,
Yeah.
So, but it was okay. We tried to do the lives, the live streams on Sundays. We did that for a little bit.
We might bring those back. We should bring those back.
I think that's the plan. That's a little toy with that.
We'll bring that back.
We'll bring that back for the people.
We got to figure like when to jump in though. Cause man, that thing's long.
It's like always 4 hours or something.
Yeah.
Maybe we do like back 9 or something.
Yeah. Or like it's always like they don't like the lead card doesn't start until like an hour in or something like that.
But pretty much that was Champions Cup in the first stretch of tour, or I guess tour number 2, first half of this season. We started coming at you guys next week with the preserve and stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna jump all the way to the preserve,
which is months later, and it was fun. Oh, it's actually kind of a banger. It's actually, now that I think about it, Missouri was actually really fire.
We got an Airbnb, threw a ton of golf. I do remember Hutchville, karaoke, Nico yelling at me.
Yeah.
That was a jokingly. I don't want to like leave on that teaser.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair. That's fair.
Nico might. I don't know, man. Nico might text something.
I think I got Nico's number. Come on now.
Yeah, Hutchville was dope, but like that stop's always cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
All right. Well, guys, we'll see you then.